All right, we're going to talk about text structure. We've been talking about a lot of these elements separately, like cause and effect and problem and solution. But when we're reading, a lot of our texts are organized in a specific structure that tell us if there's cause and effect in the article, if things are being compared, right? Or if things are just being described. So I'm going to go through the anchor chart, and I actually have some examples that we can go through together so that you can really see what it looks like. Now, description, I don't actually have a example for, but descriptions are signal words you look for example, specifically, for instance, in addition, and it would be one main topic and then describing that topic with multiple examples. We see that a lot in our opinion writing or debates that we read, and also in our explanatory or informative reports, such as reading a book on a specific topic. Like if we're talking about an opinion, this would be our reason one. Like if we think the school day should be shorter, and we think the school day should be shorter so that we have more time for extracurricular activities. The middle, our topic or reason would be extracurricular activities, and then all of these branches would be our evidence or examples of extracurricular activities like sports, piano practice, hikes, video games, right? Things like that. Or with an explanatory or informative, like when we are reading about a specific animal or writing about a specific animal, that middle topic could be like penguins. And then our branches would be their habitat, their food sources, their behavioral adaptations, their physical adaptations, and any other fun facts about them, okay? Next, sequence and order. This is when things are just written in chronological order. First, second, next, last, then, before, finally. That can happen in things like biographies or in just a lot of our narratives, a lot of our stories. So look here. This is in chronological order for Sojourner Truth, fighter for freedom. Like many slaves, Sojourner Truth spent much of her young life unable to read or write. At age 30, Sojourner already had 5 children. Although her master promised her freedom, he changed his mind. At this point, she decided to run away to New York. While there, she earned money as a maid and cook. Sojourner was much happier, but she wanted more. As time passed, she felt a calling. So as we're already taking a look, right, we see things like at this point, then while there, as time passed. So we're listening to things that happened in order, right? That she had 5 children, that he changed his mind about freedom, she ran away to New York, she would go on to give speeches for freedom against slavery for more than 30 years, right? Here's another example of just how to adopt. Deciding to adopt a child is a big decision for any couple. It is also a big decision for those who are currently caring for the child. There are many parts involved to giving a child a happy home. The couple wishing to adopt a child first must apply to an adoption agency. The adoption agency will take steps to find out whether it is a good idea for the couple to adopt a child. After the couple applies, the adoption agency will assign a caseworker. So first, they have to apply to adoption agency, right? Second, they'll get a caseworker, and the caseworker will need to know the couple's background. The caseworker also checks the couple's health and their finances. If the agency feels the couple will be good parents and the child will be safe in the home, the agency has the child live in the home for 6 to 12 months. So then third is that then the child comes to the home if they think it's a good match. If the child and couple still want the adoption, then a lawyer then prepares an adoption request, right? So those use some of those signal words, just what's happening in order. All right, comparing and contrasting. Words we look for are similar, alike, both, different, unlike, just like, on the other hand. So things have changed. When I was a child, I thought my parents were out of touch and just did not understand what it was like to be a kid. If they weren't embarrassing me in front of my friends, they were lecturing me after breaking some minor rules. However, as a parent, I think it is frustrating that my children think I have no clue what it's like, right? So there's that however to show a contrast, something that's different. Or who they are as a kid. I have been through it all before. Although I couldn't stand it myself, I continue the tradition of giving lectures and punishments for minor rule breaking. If that wasn't enough, now they are embarrassing me in public. Some things never change. So a lot of these comparing and contrasting didn't have quite the signal words. We have that big however to show a contrast, but saying I've been through it all before would show something that's the same, right? Here's another one, a new kind of basketball, right? From electronic scoreboards to television screens to the environment of equipment has all become part of sports. But is it possible for technology advancements to be a bad thing for sports? At the heart of this debate is the new basketball being introduced by the National Basketball Association, or NBA. Since the game began, basketballs have been made of leather. The newest version is covered with a special type of plastic. The maker of NBA basketball, Spalding, insists that many tests conducted during the development of the new version showed superior performance to the leather ones. However, right? So here's another however in there that shows us we're going to show something different, right? And then there's in addition to, all right? So again, we're reading through this and we can hear that they are comparing two types of basketballs, things that are the same between it and things that are different between it, all right? Cause and effect. We're going to look for things like since, because, due to, if, so, as a result of, then, consequently. So we have some cause and effect one here. No imagination. Can the lack of imagination in kids be caused by the overwhelming number of electronic devices? Gone are the days of inventing your own adventure. Now toys have buttons with pre-recorded messages and pre-written scripted adventures. The use of refrigerator boxes as a fort and gift wrap paper rolls as swords to defend the fort are gone. In the days of nearly virtual reality video games of weapons and castles, can kids have imagination when everything they play with creates everything for them? Is this why kids have short attention spans but can play video games for hours? Right? So we have the word cause in there that show the cause. So the effect we talk about is no imagination, and the cause of that is electronic devices. In this one, just too much. Our seas and oceans are threatened by two dangers, pollution and overfishing. Oil spills cause deaths of countless sea creatures and birds. They also ruin our beaches. Factories, farms, and towns dump sewage and dangerous chemicals into our waters, poisoning fish and shellfish. As a result, eating these animals can lead to sickness and even death. Overfishing reduces the fish population, and some species do not reproduce fast enough to replace those that are caught. As a result, the number of cod, herring, and anchovies in some areas are dangerously low. It isn't just fish that are threatened. Many species of whales have been hunted to the point that they are endangered too. So, we see things like as a result of. As a result, that would be the effect, right? That we could be eating fish that are leading to death. And that's because the cause is factories, farm, and dump sewage and dangerous chemicals into our water are poisoning fish and shellfish. All right? And so, like I said, oil spills cause deaths to countless sea creatures and birds. Then we also have overfishing. Overfishing is the cause, and that the result, as a result, the number of cod, herring, and anchovies in some areas are dangerously low. Lastly, we have problem and solution. We're looking for problem, solve, because of, so, therefore, due to, issue, leads to, as a result. Now, these are very similar to cause and effect. But the difference, like we've talked about before, with problem and solution, this is just stating what happens and why it happens. The effect is what happened. The cause is why it happened. With problem and solution, it's already the what's wrong, and a solution is fixing it. So let's take a look. Problem and solution. A good night's sleep. What natural thing do we do for nearly 1/3 of our life? The answer is sleep. If we do this every night, why do some people have trouble sleeping? Sometimes people cannot sleep because they are anticipating something exciting, like a special party or event. Sleeping is also difficult when stressed or nervous. So what can you do to help you sleep? One thing is to set up a sleep schedule. So this is already answering the question of, well, what's the solution? The problem is people can't sleep. The solution is trying to set a sleep schedule. Try to go to bed at the same time each night. Getting up the right number of hours for your body is also important. While some people need more than 10 hours, others feel good just with 6. Here's a couple more. So we're going to look at the problem and solution here. After the fire, thousands of people were left homeless. That's the problem. People are homeless. Many escaped the fire with nothing except the clothes on their backs. Providing all of these people with food, clean water, and shelter was a huge task. Luckily, the city quickly formed a relief and aid society. Here's our solution. This group started giving out food and donations that were pouring in from other cities, right? Now, this is different than cause and effect because the effect would have been people were left homeless and the cause is the fire. But this goes further than that and just explains the whole effect and then explains how to fix it. The society built places for people to live, gathered the tools that people needed to rebuild their houses, and even vaccinated 64,000 people against smallpox. All right, so these were just a couple quick, small examples of different types of text structures that we see in reading and writing. When we continue to read in our National Geographic or Storyworks, keep looking for those clue signal words and keep thinking about, are you reading about two things that could be similar? Are you just reading about something that happens in a specific order? Are you getting a lot of detail about one topic? Are you figuring out the what happened and why? Or are you reading about or writing about the problem, what happened, and how to fix it, those calls to action? All right, hopefully this gave you some good examples of different types of text structure so that you can start recognizing how paragraphs, articles, or texts are organized. All right, see you later.